Welcome back to another Album Book Club EP review. This week we are checking out TEHOY by The Entire History of You. This was a suggestion that came in from a Tiger Made of Lightning. Ready to get into it?
First track.
All right, that was track 1, Half-Life. What are we thinking?
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
I think most of its problems, for me at least, comes from the vocals being a little quiet. I feel like the rest of the track is cranked up really loud and the vocals just don't match it. And not like in an energy sense, just in a volume. They're kind of tucked away behind everything and they could have been more front and center.
I think you're spot on with the vocals. And then there's just some weird instances of things that I don't understand. There's kind of like a turnaround or a refrain section near the first quarter of the song that doesn't exactly make sense to be there musically, but it's fine. It never came back either, which is what makes it weird. And then towards the end there, I don't know what happened, but like the entire mids of the song just kind of fell out and then fell back in. It was very confusing. If I had to take a guess, someone accidentally had something highlighted and then clicked a button, and that's what happened. Not a bad track. All right, we'll move on to the next track.
Next track.
Had a lot of bass. Not bass guitar, just bass in the mix.
Nope, I'm going to do it again.
You know, they committed this time.
You know, that's... Did they? Nope, they just let it go for 2 again.
Oh, but it did set up this soft part, so kudos. Golf claps. All right, that was track 2, Coalescence. What are we thinking?
I'm going to give it a 7.
I think I'll also give it a 7.
While I don't think the vocals were really turned up from the last track, I think it fit better in this track. I didn't love when they took everything away and just let the 2 notes play out until they did it and showed that it was to set something up. When it was just one off, I was mad at it, but then they kind of explained it and it made sense. I thought everything sounded good on this track.
Ska metal, man.
Yeah, ska metal.
I think that was just my issues. The drums were very out of place for that beginning section. Not that they were bad drums. It was just drums for a different track, especially with what ended up coming after.
Yeah, the ending does not really fit the beginning, but I did like both of them individually.
All right. Next track.
Next track.
All right. That was track 3, I Always. What are we thinking?
I'm going to give it a 6.5, and that sounds worse than it actually is.
I think I'm going to give it a 6, and that also sounds worse.
It's real short. This track almost doesn't have enough time to accomplish anything, but what it does do is pretty all right. I like that, especially on the screams, the vocals are turned up. That's what I've been saying so far. Could have used it on the non-screaming vocals, but less going on, but I felt like it sounds more intentional with the mixing, I guess.
Yeah, I think it truly just needs more time to explore itself, because you get a lot of very cool concepts that get introduced and then not really resolved. And that is just a timing issue. Although this is one that, like we always say on the show, I bet live just goes a lot harder because the tail can trail out all the way and fill the room. It's a good, like, truly emotional song that is kind of harder to capture in this short format like this, and then not with the feel of the room and all that, because there is just a lot of presence in this song, not in a bad way. All right, ready for the next track?
Next track.
All right, that was track 4, Old Friend. What do we think?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think I'm up there with you. I'll give it a 7.5. It's got that nice vocal mix. It's got a decent length to explore itself. It's just a hard-hitting song, and it's vocals are still a little quiet, but they're significantly better. And then bass guitar comes and goes as far as its volume, but drums are great the whole time. Guitar is great the whole time. Bass, as far as playing, is great the whole time.
Yeah, no, the song did everything I wanted it to do from the last couple songs. Probably could, you're right, turn the vocals up just a little bit more, but significantly
Better.
A significant improvement from the first 2 tracks. Yeah, just love the energy the song brought.
Yeah. All right, last track. All right, that was Monochromatic. What are we thinking?
I'm going to give it a 7.
I think I'll give it a 7.25.
We're back to the vocal mix of the first 2 tracks, but I do like the energy this song brought. I thought it closed out this project really well. I liked it. I just wish I could hear the vocals a little bit more.
Pretty much nailed it. I do love like the energy of the track. I think it's got a great movement to it. I think musically this one is the most sound that we've heard, but I think it's because there's things in there in the other songs that maybe I just don't understand or see the angle for, but that is just because it's not my band. And this is a wheelhouse of metal that I'm not too particularly knowledgeable in, so I'm sure it's nods to other people and or just something that is in genre that I am just not super into. This is like post-hardcore. I am definitely not. I'm scraping hardcore now, so I haven't even made it post. All right, what do we think about the album art?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it, I'll give it a 7.5.
I think for this project, it kind of works, but like not all the way. As a picture, I think it's great. That's where the 8's coming from. I think the border, you don't need the border. And I also don't think you super need the words in the border because you can't really read them anyway. But I do like the picture a lot. So.
Pretty much exactly my reasoning. I just gave it a half point lower. I think the border is not needed. The words should just be on the picture. And then good picture, maybe not for the entire project, but just a solid good picture. So if you made it this far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Leave us a comment of any songs, EPs, or albums you want us to check out. And we'll see you in the next one.